Ah, it works. Okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh no, I'm hearing myself. See, something like this happens every time. I mess up. Okay. Share. Dash. Host. Oh, it's probably not working. Damn it. Okay, so hello everyone. Hopefully you're already here, but I don't know. Let's just wait a few minutes, okay? Just to make sure. Yeah, this kind of stuff never happens, Aleš. It usually works very well. I have no trouble connecting or anything. So just get relaxed, Aleš. Everything's gonna be okay.
Okay.
Hey Rangul, hi. I need to share the Twitch link quickly to the Discord. And whoop. Right now. Good. Okay, seems like people are coming in. That's good. Check this. And it's not working. This is great. Hi, Spyler. Hello. And hi, Crystal.
Hi, guys.
Do you see the chat, Aleš?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's not great. So, can you go to the link that I will send you of my stream, and you can read the chat there, just so you're up to date, just as me.
Okay. Or I can just trust you that there is someone out there.
Yeah, this is usually the number one mistake, trusting me. You can ask the community. It's not working out for them either. Hey, Knock. I'm trying to figure out how to host this stream on the official islands site as well. Oh, you have to mute your site.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah, I did that as well, so we're good.
Okay.
So far, I
I
figured.
panicked and I turned it off, so I need to open the link one more time, and then I'm gonna mute it one more time, and it's done.
Great work, Aleš. Great work. This is what I expect from our project lead. Okay, so it seems there's already 12 people, so I think we can just go ahead and start with the first question, and as people join in, they can always watch the replay. So, yeah, I'm just gonna start. So, we managed to get Aleš over here, and he cleared an hour of his schedule. Very busy one, by the way. So, I really appreciate it, and I hope that he'll be able to answer all of your questions. Oknok already sent us a very great list of the most common questions that appear in the community. So we will try to go through this list, and if you have any follow-up questions, don't hesitate to type them in the chat, and we'll try to go through them as well. Okay, so first question, Aleš.
Mm-hmm.
What is the progress on replacing Adam? How is it going?
Well, actually, Adam has already. I mean, like it sounded like we wanted to replace him with someone. So yeah, Adam's gone. The truth is that we have several candidates right now. We are interviewing them, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we have like 3 now that we think like have it what it takes to be Islands community manager. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I think that we can have new community manager in about 2 weeks.
Okay, so hopefully
Well,
within.
actually, it depends. Like, okay, there is actually the possibility that the person we are going to choose may have some like some contract which will require them to like stay for some additional time with like within their like current job, so it may take longer, but we should have someone picked by like into 2 weeks time.
Nice. I'm looking forward for it. Cooperating with a new Adam. Can't wait. So, next question, and this is a really great one. When will be the next competition announced? Because everyone loved the first one and they're really expecting another one. So,
Yeah, actually, well, the thing is that with the competition, with the next competition or the next stage of the competition, we are waiting for the new community manager to join us, because since right now Marcy is doing most of the work that Adam had to do, and there's actually planning to do. Like doing the like starting the competition right now would probably result in us like handling it poorly. I mean, even like in a like worse way than the than we handled the first one. So yeah, I think as soon as we have the new community manager, as soon as they have some like basic knowledge of how things work with islands, then we will announce the next competition.
okay, great. So, hopefully it'll be soon. And next question is, and I had no idea that this was actually happening. Is Bohemia still sponsoring streamers? And if so, do amateur streamers have some option to get the exploration for free if they commit to some often streaming of this game?
Yeah, actually, that's a good question, because like just before Adam left, we had this plan, or we actually started working on it with Adam and Marcy, that we would in a way maybe support in some way island streamers, but the fact that Adam left pretty much like stopped this. So again, this is something that we definitely want to do in the future, but as I said, this is again something that will have to wait until we find the new community manager.
Okay. So it seems that we really need that community manager now. I can see I skipped one question here from Oknog, and it was about a roadmap. Because right now, I think there is no current roadmap for the future. After I think 1.5 is mentioned here, there wasn't any continuous roadmap there and updated. So if there is gonna be in like soon.
Yeah. Uh, the reason why there isn't any roadmap is that because we actually like done like a great change to the whole uh, like like our, well, let me put it another way. We had for a long time we basically focused on the editor, and it changed actually quite like dramatically with 1.5, and now I'm not saying that we won't be doing anything for the editor. Actually, there are still a lot of cool features that will be introduced in 1.6, 1.7, and beyond. But now we are more focusing on the exploration. And the thing is that we first wanted to know if the change that we did with 1.5, if it like clicked with players, if they liked it, if it made sense, if it worked.
Mhm.
And it definitely seems so. Obviously, we are getting a lot of comments and reviews that this is not enough, and I understand it because we actually focused on editor for far too long. At least like when it's or it can feel this way to anyone who is more interested in exploration. But uh, the overall the feedback is really nice. So now we know that we will continue in this direction. So we are already talking. Obviously, 1.6 features are already I would say like they are like finished. We're just polishing them, like the final touches, and we're doing some bug fixing. So what is going to be in 1.6 is already clear. At this point, we are discussing or finalizing features for 1.7, and in general, what will be in 1.8. So I think in about like a month, we will be able to publish like a roadmap for the rest of this year, at least for the rest of this year,
Mm-hmm.
maybe with some like higher goals. But I'm honestly I'm a little bit like cautious when we do this because I understand that we in the past that we promised a lot of things that in the end we weren't able to achieve. So I think we would uh, rather it would be better for us to like promise less and like pleasantly surprise players than like to make some big promises and not deliver.
Yeah, that makes sense, I think. So yeah, hopefully we'll get this soon and it will be amazing. So next step, next question is actually related to chat, and I think these questions will be better answered separately because they consider like issues there. So I'll just ask if there is still some work being done on the chat and fixing these bugs that we encounter, and whether there will be a voice chat in Islands.
Yeah, actually, the there have been the chat like the way the chat looks won't look any different to players to you when you see it in 1.6, but the technology like underneath it or the code has actually changed. Most of it has been replaced or reworked, and actually in most cases the chat is now something like 10 times faster,
Mm-hmm.
like the time that it takes to like refresh pages and send images, and we fixed issues that images either images sorry messages so so that messages either got lost somewhere along the way or they were sent twice. So I think there are there were like around like 10 major fixes down to chat, so that definitely should show in 1.6. And as for voice communication, uh, that is something that we definitely would like to have. I can't tell you any update number where we would do it
Mm-hmm.
because there are things that we consider at this time more uh, more important. But our idea is that it would bring a lot to gameplay if we had the voice chat, not only because players could talk to each other. Obviously, that's something that and that's something that they can already do with some other third party tools, but we can at that point we will be able to do something that for example works in Daisy, which is that you hear people based on how close or far they're
Mm-hmm.
from you, which I think is quite a nice gameplay element.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's one of the reasons why we want to have it as well. But it will. Uh, I would like it to be implemented sometime this year, but I can't really promise it at this point.
Okay, great. So next up is main menu and the problems connected to it. That many players think that the menu is actually overwhelming and confusing, and the systems for displaying the highest rated games don't take into consideration how many actual hits it gets. It just takes the actual rating. It's like 5 stars, and it doesn't matter if it was just one person, you know, actually, sorry, rating it. So if there's planned some change to the main menu, so the at least the way these games are shown, so so we can see more of these great games that have actually like maybe hundreds of positive reviews before we can see before we can see the new ones that are basically empty or anything.
Yeah. Uh, well, the thing is that tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, we have a call with. Unfortunately, at this point, we can't meet with most of the people in the team because of the of the situation with COVID. So we have to do everything over like internet, which slows things down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But tomorrow we'll have a call where we will be discussing exactly this. So it's already planned that in 1.7 the main menu will get some changes. Uh, because we still need to discuss this. I'm not sure, or I don't know at this point, like what will the changes be, or how much will it change. But definitely the thing that we want to do is that we feel that right now the main menu is like it should be more about the actual games. Right
Mm-hmm.
now there are like a lot of elements that take away attention from the thing that matters the most, and it's the game. It's the games.
Mm-hmm.
And also the system behind uh, the like the thing that actually shows the game. It's something that we done uh, real fast at that point, like when we were developing it, because there wasn't enough time,
Yeah.
and ended up with like we have to or admins have to do a lot of work themselves by like picking those games. And the truth is that normally this would be done by Marcy probably, or someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is that now that Adam is gone, and even sometime before that, we had like so much work that anything that admins should be doing like manually, there wasn't like that much time for it, which I obviously understand is bad. And it's we kind of like let down the some of the creators. So I think in 1.7 we definitely need to implement some system uh, that will take in account like some other things than just like the rating and stuff like that. And also, I mean, like there will still be uh, some human touch in this. Definitely, we will be still looking for games to feature, but I think it will work better, and it will. I think at some point we will discuss it with you. Uh, like what are all those things that you don't like about either mind menu or workshop, the things that how things are presented. There are some things that we improved in 1.6 with workshop, but those are not really related to how games are displayed. Those are more related to how games are published. So if you are a creator, I think you will find the whole flow more intuitive and better documented. But with what games are shown, you will probably have to wait until 1.7. But I promise that with 1.7 that will change.
Okay, great. So there is one question from Yarda in the chat, and that is if in the update 1.6 there will be a possibility to see other players on your map as they are moving around it, or if that's planned somewhere for the future.
No, that's actually planned for 1.7 as well, and we have. I never said this before, so this is like a early stage that we need to still discuss. So if this ends up in the game in some like different form or shape, uh, please don't like hate me, but we feel that we need to do something to bring players together more in, and especially in sorry, in exploration. And one of the things will be that you will be able to see uh, your friends on the map. And also we want to create something like uh, something that we consider like a social hub in every region of the map. So you won't have to look for an island where some other players may be, but right from the beginning you will see this one specific island, and you will know that at that point or at that place you will find uh, a place where which is meant for players to meet. So if you start and if you'll be looking for some players to meet, be it your friends or strangers, this will be a place to go, and it's like the likeliest place you will be able to find other people. We may even, and this is really up for discussion, we may even show with this place the current population, so that you know you are not sailing to place that has, I don't know, like a village or a small town, but it's still empty, so that you know that when you get there there will be other players to interact with. So definitely this is something that we are already planning for 1.7.
This is great. I think a lot of players will like it, as I can already see in the chat. So amazing. And Jacobs asked about. Well, he asked if we already have a question, which was kind of confusing, but still. If there is some plan for finishing the documentation for all the on our Bohemia wiki, where we have like scripting tiles and information about everything in the game. We all know that it needs a lot of work. There is a lot of empty spaces. So, yeah, his question is if there is gonna be something finished like that.
The question is like what. Well, firstly, the question is if we're talking about editor and scripting, or the game in general, because I can see how we can add things to wiki which are related to exploration as well. Um, but in general, the
Here's some.
okay,
This is just a joke from another stream where I had no idea what Biki actually means, so I ended
no.
up naming the game Biki, and yeah, then everyone explained to me that they mean Bohemia Wiki. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well. To get back to the question, and the another question is like, what does it mean for a wiki to be like finished? Which I don't think can ever happen. But the truth is that the wiki isn't in a good shape. But the way I see it, uh, there are actually two things that we can do. First thing is that we can put more effort ourselves into filling it with facts and things that are related to game. And the second thing is that we can offer better support to players, so that to the community, so that they can help us with it, which
Oh,
I think in the end is like the best thing to do, because I think it kinds of like brings developers and community like closer together, and uh, we can do like less things because
Yeah,
some
yeah.
we
It's
can
it's
do it for us.
it's all about saving our time. I get it.
Yeah,
No.
I wanted to like say it nice, more like in a nicer way, but the harsh truth is that it saves us a lot of time.
Okay, so Oknog had a good point here that you probably need to ask a lot of people
Oh yeah.
for
Oh yes,
permissions.
yeah. Actually, that is something that was the first time that I asked our IT when I started working with Wiki, and the reason was that uh, like whenever we tried or they tried this with Arma, uh, and when they opened it up for everyone, uh, the wiki got like pretty much immediately filled with just some random trash, which I believe is something that we don't want. And I'm not like I don't really know, for example, how bigger wikis work. So this is not something that I feel I should be like talking about in depth. Maybe there are some ways of both allowing players uh, that are not logged in any way to edit it and still keep it clean. But the thing that I think would help would probably be if at least players could use like the login that they already have, like because you obviously are logging into forums,
Yeah.
so you already have that. So that's something that I asked our IT to do some time ago, and I believe there were some other more important things that they had to work on, because obviously it's not just islands they are working on. So right now, I believe we can still manage to give everyone that is interested access simply by like manually adding them into whitelist. So if you feel like helping us with it, just like let us know, or let Marcy know, or Naru know, or send me a message, and we'll do that. And as soon as there are more people coming in wanting to do this, then we can probably then we'll have like bigger leverage to approach IT and tell them that we need this to work differently.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. And I think three more questions popped up in the chat while you were talking, so I will try to read them all. First one was whether there will be a option in the future for players to if there is gonna be a way for players to encounter maps in exploration that are created by other players. If we'll be allowing this option for players to create some custom exploration maps that they could visit.
Yeah, definitely. This is something. This will probably be like, at least for me, the biggest thing that will happen to islands, because for most of the time there were two branches of islands, one being the exploration or the survival and another one being the platform with the editor. And for a long time it kind of made no sense that we are actually like not focusing on a single thing, and the fact that we were focusing on the editor instead of exploration. But I think this thing will actually like this will make everyone hopefully see that these things have more in common than it may seem, because this is the ultimate goal that we want to achieve. It's that you can use the editor that we put a lot of effort into, and which because of that is quite good. I would say it's not perfect, but it's quite good at this point. and the players will be able to use it to create islands or their own games that will be accessible in exploration. That's the ultimate goal. At this point, with 1.6, this is something that we can do, us, the developers, and we are going to allow this, to allow players to do this as well. As to when this is going to happen, I definitely don't want to make any promises, but it sounds like, or I believe that we could be able to do it in 1.8. But if it's later, anything can happen. Then, uh, like, I never said this, and
Okay.
hopefully, and obviously this is not on record, so no one will know I actually said it.
No
But yeah,
way.
the 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 thing about this is that it's not as much like a technical problem, because we already support this, as it's a design problem. Because imagine that we allow players to create pretty much any scene or level or game and put it in exploration. It would immediately like break the game, the gameplay. uh, we would start seeing uh, islands that are just like filled with propeller packs for other players to take, with like thousands of or tens of thousands of pieces of wood and stone and iron, and yeah, so this is something that we need to design first, so that uh, to me, like my gut feeling at this point, and we never actually, well, we did talk about it, but not really in depth. So my gut feeling is that we will have to do something like islands that will be, let's say, approved to be part of the official, or the basic or base exploration world.
Hmm.
And then there would be something like, I don't know, maybe other dimensions or other maps or something, where players would be able to do pretty much anything. And it makes sense to me that if we do this, you will be able to travel to those islands, and maybe you won't be able to bring anything there or take anything back with you. So this is one of the problems that we need to uh, work out before we allow players to do this. But as I said, this is the ultimate goal. So definitely everything we do is actually headed towards this direction, and that will definitely happen.
Great. Awesome. So, another question from the chat from Yarda. If there is gonna be a simplification of getting blueprints from editor to exploration, which, as we already talked about, I think on one of the streams, was never actually a feature, was it? I think blueprints were never meant to be created in editor by players. But it is a good point that players are using it for creating some amazing structures in exploration. So
Um,
the question is if this is gonna be allowed and
okay, so I
simplified.
guess I guess it's like fixed if it can be done. No, I'm kidding, obviously. No, we know this, and we already even talked with some of the creators, and we will probably talk with more about our plans. I mean, not like that we would go into details, but we just told them that we definitely would like to improve blueprints. So again, what I'm going to say here is probably will be heard for the first time. Uh, our plan is definitely to let players create the blueprints in the editor, and it's there are actually more reasons for it. Not only so that they can be used in exploration on PC, but also we understand that when we when we have exploration on mobiles,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying like if, I'm saying when. Uh, the building on mobiles is definitely something that will never be uh, as easy as on
PCs.
PC.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think we actually did a lot to simplify it even more.
Mm-hmm.
The new workstation that is introduced in 1.6 makes building like so much better.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be hyping at this point, but I can't
We're
help
gonna
myself.
hype them up, and then they're
Yeah.
gonna spam us with yeah.
Uh, but the as I said, it's when we have exploration on mobiles, I can see that building would be kind of difficult, and for players who would play this, will it will be way easier to maybe use some existing structures, which ideally should be blueprints.
Yeah.
And we would like to go further. We think that those players that create blueprints should be rewarded. So I think if other players would like to, I think there definitely should be way for creators to monetize it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you work on a, I don't know, amazing ship or something like that, and you put a lot of effort into it, then I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be asking coins for that. And
Yeah.
if we do that, I think people may be interested more in creating more blueprints, better blueprints. So like everyone will profit from that.
Yeah. It sounds really nice. Okay. Another question, Aleš, and this is a
Oh, and
question.
by the way, so that it's clear, like this won't be about us monetizing our blueprints. Our plan is not to keep adding blueprints that we create and ask coins for them. This is really just meant for players
Player to player
creating.
trans. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Another question, and this I think this is a question that bothers a lot of players, including me. If there is if there is a plan to add fluids back to fluid physics back to exploration, because as you know, if you wanna adjust the beaches of your islands right now, if you take away some terrain, there is gonna
Yeah,
be a hole left, and it gets very frustrating when you're trying to go for
yeah.
aesthetics. So.
Well, if you're bothered by not knowing this, you could have asked me
I
exactly.
know, but this sounds
Or,
way better right
or
now,
get
you
the
know.
phone. Okay. No, yeah, this is a tough one. The reason why we pretty much disabled it was because the fluid system wasn't uh, like programmed in a good way. This was a plugin this was part of a plugin that we bought like many years ago,
Mhm.
and we never actually like done anything to it. I think we improved it a little bit, so it ran faster,
Mhm.
but still it's kind of like demanding uh, performance wise. And we we keep optimizing the game, and like if we this is a tricky decision or tough decision to make, because if we allow this, and it would be possible, the feature is actually still there, but if we allow this, then what could easily happen would be that um, someone would like create, I don't know, a big hole with explosion, or do something with the
Terraformer, for instance,
with
or
the
something.
terraformer, or and like you would know by looking at the FPS at that moment, you would know that this is happening.
Yeah.
So if the honest answer is, if we ever have if we if we are to have the fluid simulation, we will need to rewrite it from the scratch, the code, and it's not an easy thing. So, but I think that I'm not sure if what we really need is the thing is like there is like fluid simulation, and then there is the problem with, I don't know, just like digging some like a bit of a beach, and then the water staying in some unnatural shape. So
Yeah, definitely.
maybe this can these specific situations could somehow be fixed even without having like a full scale fluid simulation.
Oh yeah,
So
that's true.
and I'm not a programmer myself, or at least I'm not like a programmer good enough to understand this fully, to make some like um, to tell you if this is possible and how difficult that is. But I can imagine that solving these situations would definitely be easier than creating the whole fluid simulation from scratch. And even if we pretty much like reworked it, if we done a complete overhaul, it would still like take up some CPU
Hmm.
performance, because these things are unfortunately costly.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you like, I will definitely take a look at those situations which bother you the most, and we will see if there's something that we can do about this. Uh, by the way, I think it's not really similar, but this actually reminds me something that we've done with the terrain in 1.6, which I think, I don't know, I've mentioned it before in any dev diary. So I will just say it here. Uh, when I think of this, I find this annoying, and also like on a similar level of how things are annoying. I think I would have the fact that when you're in the editor and you're trying to paint over the terrain, you would never be able to achieve the same look as if you generate the island yourself. You
Hmm.
would always get this very obvious transition, like sharp edges. So this is something that we fixed in 1.6. So you are not getting fluid simulation, but okay, but you are getting something else.
Yeah, I think this is still a great improvement to the feel of the island, so I think they'll appreciate it definitely. Okay,
Yeah,
Spyler
I tried.
actually.
I tried really hard so that everyone actually forgot that we talked about the fluid simulation at
Yeah,
all.
you're doing a great job. We already agreed
Yeah,
that you are like
let's
a
talk about
politician.
the enhanced terrain blending.
Great. So Spyler had actually two parts in this question that he wrote, and the second one was if there are planned any systems to or like increasing objectives for the player in the exploration, such as adding some sort of mechanism or like widening the range of the electrical circuits that you can build there. So it is there is more challenging things for players to like get resources for and craft, probably.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch the beginning. Are we talking just about electricity, or
No,
like the?
like generally some additional objectives for the player to like achieve in exploration.
Oh, well, actually, I don't know if uh, if this is the place to mention this. I don't think I shouldn't probably like spoil anything, like every, sorry, not to spoil everything, but uh, I think I hopefully in like when, well, let me put it this way. In when 1.6 is released, one of the first dev diaries will be about something that we're planning for 1.7. And if you are looking for more objectives in islands, if you feel like the game is lacking something that, for example, Valheim has, then I think I can say you won't be disappointed. And this will come in 1.7.
Great. Thanks for that. And another question from Yarda, and I think this is a good one. Well, how many islands of these special islands created by the designers will be after the 1.6 update? Like, how many of different islands can the players expect?
Oh,
Is this gonna be increased in number?
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm just wondering how to get around the fact that I have no idea, but because I probably should know this. Now this is a little bit difficult to say because the we actually we came up with a system that allows us to add these custom islands even without uh, updating the game client.
Okay.
So even though we actually we finalized the game data,
Mhm.
and now only some really final things are being fixed, uh, these islands are still being made, and they will and designers will be making them regardless of if an update is about to be released, if it has just been released. And as they make new ones, they will be put into the game directly. So if you if you have uh, let's say if you have in your region map an uncharted island, an island that you haven't visited yet, uh, it it can like and you pay it a visit, you can find their new custom island that was made just, I don't know, like an or uploaded like an hour ago.
Mhm.
So I can find the specific number, but it keeps changing.
Oh yeah,
And
it's completely fine.
also what I should probably say is that uh, how this thing how this works. There is some, I wouldn't call it AI because that would be a little bit too much, but there is some logic behind what custom islands you're going to see if you and what the probability is if you uncover new island,
Mhm.
so that you so that it's quite likely that you will find one, that you won't be finding the same ones over and over again.
Mhm.
So hopefully if everything works as intended, you should find some quite soon, I guess.
Okay, this is great. I think it's time for a nice easy question, and that is whether there will be a lava in our game in exploration.
Yeah, that unfortunately gets us back to the fluid simulation system, which yeah, lava is pretty much that. and and one of the things that was pretty bad about the which is bad about the current system that we have, it's not only that it's extremely performance or CPU hungry, it's also that it cannot simulate two kinds of fluids.
Mhm.
So either we would have just water or we would have just lava.
Great.
So if we if we ever in future make the new fluid system, we would have lava as well.
Okay, so it is a question for the future, and we'll see how it ends up.
Yeah.
Okay, Jacobs asked about items repair system because right now, as you know, if you once craft something, you can keep this item till the end, and like there is no need for additional resources for that. And that if there was a system to damage these items and then need to repair them, it would motivate players more for keep finding new resources. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as you probably know, there was this system at some point, and it got removed. Uh, it got removed for reasons that I can't speak of. Uh, well, actually, the reason is that it sucked. Like it wasn't it wasn't very well made. We didn't really like it. We didn't have enough time to fix it, and so we thought that it's better to not have it at all than to have it broken
Broken, yeah.
and useless. And at the same time, there were things that you weren't able to fix at all, like never.
Hmm.
Uh, with, for example, ships. And this is obviously something that needs to change. So we thought we would bring ships that can be damaged in 1.6, and that you would be able to fix them in 1.6. But unfortunately, we didn't do it. It won't be in 1.6. We weren't able to do it in time. So this will have to wait.
Hmm.
But that definitely is planned. And when we're finalizing uh, repairing ships, what we'll be uh, talking about will definitely be how we could return uh,
This mechanic.
things being damaged, and the possibility of repairing them. So that's one of the things. Also, speaking of ships, uh, this was there was another thing that we planned for ships, which, well, this is still the plan, but this proved to be more difficult than we thought. Was a plan to if you travel not between islands in the region, but between two regions, that
Hmm.
we would let you actually sail, that you would show on a sea, and you would sail, and it could be for some time, like not a long time. Definitely, we don't want to do this annoying or something like that. But for a little time, you would sail. Sometimes the sea would be calm. Sometimes you would get uh, caught in a rough storm, and you would come across some random encounters.
Oh, it sounds great,
Uh,
actually.
yeah, but we didn't manage to do this, because from some point, uh, and maybe this is something that probably I should have started with, or this is something that I believe is like a principle that we or our new mantra, which is if something that we would release would if we don't think it would be like good, we'd rather not release it. We pretty much we released a lot of, like, so many things in the past that were half baked just for the sake of having those things in the game. That and this is like this is like a legacy that we now have to live with. There was this question in the list, which was about uh, why were catapults removed.
Hmm.
So this is the reason that the catapults weren't. I mean, they worked in a way, but definitely not as they should be. The loading was weird. It was inconsistent. Speaking of that, cannons are still not working as we would like them to work. So we removed it so that we first fix it and then we return it into the game. But just to make sure that there is no panic, we have no intention of like removing any more things. It's not like we would just like wake up one morning, look at some feature, and say, "Well, this isn't good enough. Let's just like take it away." This, as far as I know, this was like thing that annoyed us, like all the things that really annoyed us with how they were like broken or not working as intended.
Hmm.
That like, everything that we thought should be removed is has been removed already.
Okay, great. I think we have time for another question. So there is a question whether we're planning to add some option for people that work in editor, a way to modify terrain through scripts. And I think this is already a possibility, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it?
I believe it is.
I
To
think
be
we
honest,
already added the new tiles.
I'm
On,
I'm not sure. I know actually this morning I went over because the thing is there is now so many things in the game, like with so many instructions added every
yeah, that's
update
true.
that I don't really like remember everything because I know about things that will be added later, so it sometimes it kind of gets like blurred if the thing is like meant to be released right now, or if it's something that we just have uh, working but it's not going to be released right now. But I believe that I saw uh, some warning messages in the localization file which I went through today, which actually said something like that the terrain couldn't be created in some place because there was player's character at that place. So I
Yeah,
think we
I believe I believe it should be at 1.6 at least some version of it of modifying the terrain right now. And honestly, I'm not sure. There's really a lot of things there to go through, and it wasn't my feature. I didn't get to try it out. So yeah, I don't want to promise anything, but I think there is actually a possibility. It seems you have a fan, Aleš.
yeah
Yeah,
where
things got out of hand here. Okay,
yeah
so
like
it's
if
already.
but
Sorry.
it requires like a lot of money, doesn't it?
I think so, Alish. I don't think this is like a viable option for you. I'm sorry.
I mean, like if you buy like a million copies of like Islands of the Exploration pack, then
Then we
I
can
think
talk about it.
yeah.
Okay, so um, we agreed with Alish that he would stop by for an hour, and it has already been an hour. So I'm afraid this is our time with him. But it was originally planned to answer the rest of the questions on the forum. But I was thinking that if Alish is up for it, and if you guys like this way of communicating with him, we could do this thing like once every 14 days, so you can get regular updates about the game and all the issues that you encounter. So, what do you say, Aleš? Do you think that will be possible?
Yeah, sure. Actually, this was fun. I just need to like work on my skills so that I don't like say everything that like we have in store. I keep something for later because I know that like some things that I said will bite me in
Definitely.
some body parts. But yeah, that's it's been fun, and I really like it, and it's definitely better to to say it out loud than to write it into Dev Diary.
Yeah,
Which
it's
I
much better way to
yeah.
communicate. Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
so
perfect. Well, thank you guys. Thanks everyone who came and asked questions.
there you have it, guys. Say bye to Aleš, and it seems we will see him in 14 days again. So great news
Bye.
there. Okay, so here we are back at the editor, and for those of you who don't know, this is regularly a stream about building stuff in editor. So we will be continuing with the chess today, and yeah, let's jump right into it. I promised JC that I would go through how the game actually finds out about available steps, so we will go through that once again. No, yeah, no, we're not continuing in Czech. That will be tomorrow, though. Okay, so I just have to switch into the editor mode. The way that the way that we find if there is an available spot for our chess piece to move to is defined in these storages. As you can see, we have a storage for. Ne, já to nebude tady si trálež. Uh, there is a storage for each type of the of the chess piece. So we have a storage for pawns, for rooks, for knights, because each of them has a different way to different rules for movement, right? They like, for instance, rooks can only move diagonally or horizontally for as many moves as they possibly can, and knights, they have this L shape that they are jumping. So thanks your attacks. Oh, bye Awaki. Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, uh, we create this storage, and you can see that there is a in onCreate function, we are defining all the possible steps that the uh, the the chess piece can move from his original position, right? If there is nothing in his path, this rook can move upwards, downwards, left and right. And we add all of these possibilities into a two-dimensional array. First is like for all the possible directions of the movement. Like, this is the first layer of the array. And then there is the second layer that in each of these, there is one step after another. So if it can go up, it will just check if it can go for one step forward. If there is no obstacle, it will check if it can go for two steps, and so forth, until it actually hits some obstacle. And I'll show you where it checks right now. Okay, so this is the function for displaying the available moves that we have. And I can't zoom out because of the issue we have with the editor. So bear with me. Hopefully this will be okay. We have a function for checking the whether the spot is occupied, and that is here. I will definitely share the map with you if you guys want to after the stream, so you can check it out for yourself. I already sent it to a few people, so yeah. This is how it works, okay? We have a main two-dimensional array. This is the board, right? Bye, Crystal. Bye, thanks for stopping by. So this board, okay, the way it is created is that we define 8 by 8 of empty spots on the board, okay? And when we are spawning the chess pieces on the board, we are assigning these pieces, like the entities themselves, we assign them into this array. So for instance, at the position 0, 0, which will be right here in the corner, there will be the white rook, right? So if you then go and check with a simple if statement, if this chessboard index 00 equals, sorry, Jesus, if this spot equals none, which is this tile that we have here, this is by default present on all spaces, and then it is replaced with the entity. So if it doesn't equal null, we can tell that this spot is not empty. And this is the easiest way to create something like chess, because you don't have to bother with raycast or anything like that. Oh, it's so hard to find something in here when I can't zoom out. I'm gonna go through it like this. Yes, I'm back at it. Okay, so yeah, this is the way. We have a two-dimensional array, and then we can just pass in the array we are asking about. This is where this is done, right? Get array board, and then we place in z vector of the position that we're asking about as this index. This is the height from one side to another, and index of x, which is the horizontal axis. And if it's not equal none, we know that there is some entity present there. And then we can check if it's a friendly entity or an enemy entity, right? And if this equals none, we know that it is an empty spot, so chess piece can move there, and we can keep checking if it can still move further. Okay, so hopefully this helped, Jacobs. I think this is it about the check, like everything we do here. So just create possible steps and then check with simple returns how it works. Yeah. Okay, so since last time I made a little bit of adjustments in here, but it was nothing big, I swear. The only thing I actually did was creating some effects for broken pieces, and this is the same principle we used in the Beaky game, where we are shooting the snowman and the snowman flies into the small parts where they like fall apart. So the same principle is applied here, where we have a flaming sword that will fall from the sky and hit the entity. And at that point, I just spawn multiple items and let them fall to the ground. I can show you this later if you want, but you can always find it in the video where we create the beaky. I will quickly show you how this works, hopefully, if I can find this. And this should be right. So yeah. This was the source falling from the sky was Oknok's idea, and it was a great one, I have to say, because it looks really great. So I just plugged in this function instead of the interaction with the piece that normally is looking for available spaces, just to show you how it actually looks. Of course, later I will create some custom ones for different pieces. So if you are destroying someone with bishop, that could be something else than a sword. That could be like a giant spear that goes through the piece. So as you can see, if I click, the sword will fall, and it will just fall apart, right? Yeah. So this is just how it works. These will get despawned in like 5 seconds, I think. So yeah, it is a very easy way to create something that looks destroyed. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it. This is something me and Miller share. Okay, so I'm gonna plug back in this. That is our regular check that we've done last time. And I'm just gonna quickly test it because it has been a week since I've worked on this, so I have no idea in which state it is. A memory of a goldfish. Uh, the entities are actually sliding right now, Vortex. I am using move to position. So yeah, they are not teleporting, they are actually traveling to the desired position. And as you can see, I can already detect whether it's a friendly or an enemy piece. This one was friendly, so it just skipped it as a possible target. But this one is highlighted with the yellow goldish color, orange maybe. Yeah, so this is also done in the script in the same function for checking available steps. I'll show you. It's a very easy thing to implement. Spirit is not afraid of Mellow. Okay, so this is what we've done so far. There are not the so far we can manipulate with pieces from both colors simultaneously. You can move with the white piece 5 times and then just black piece 1 time. So we need to implement some way of telling whose turn it is to play, right? So only one player should be able to make his move, and once he make the move, the this variable that we create should switch into the onto the other player, and then he should be able to play. Guys, we can't have a money for every mention of our game. You know, I agree, but every time you mention me on Discord, I will get 1 hour as well. It sounds very well. Okay. Um, yeah, I wanted to show you the difference between friendly and enemy pieces, right? So, oh, I can't find it again. I hate this. Well, I mean any mention of my name. You don't even have to tag me. Like as soon as I see Naru there. Okay, so is the spot occupied? As you can see, so far, last time we only checked if the spot is occupied or not, and we didn't really bother if this piece that is there is friendly or not. So the only thing that I've done is when I'm spawning these pieces, I have these labels, right? Whites and blacks. So the easiest thing to do is just assign this label to the pieces, and then when you're asking for this, you can just. Did I do this again? Okay, I should restart the game, guys. Give me like 10 seconds, and then another 20 to restart the game, because it is killing me that I can't zoom out. Wait, the game that's cheating. Okay, I'm sorry about the black screen, guys. It will be restarted in just a second. You are very evil, guys. Very evil. Okay, so while it is loading, uh, the only thing I'm doing there is that I'm passing the label that the active piece has, and I'm asking if this label equals the label that the target piece has. If they are equal, it means that they are friendly pieces, and we just stop the movement right there. But if they're enemy, we can do whatever we want. We can highlight them. We can, let the player know that he can actually attack this piece. Oh, it was fine, Oknok. It went for like 10 minutes after you left, so you were super quick, by the way. Or are you typing from your phone? Oh, I can zoom. This is great. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just trying to get label with yeah, the reason I'm using index 1, I was confused for a second, is because we already have one of the labels uh, here, and this is pieces of board. This displays all the pieces, this stores all the pieces, so we can disable all interactions and stuff like that. Okay, so if it equals to the get labels of this other entity, and again, the way we get this is simple. We just take the position that we need, and that it has x and z coordinates, and then we just plug z into the first index and x to the second one, and that returns us the chess piece that is there. We ask him if it's index 1, and then we just say 2 or 1, and then we are checking the return value. Oh yeah, definitely. The replay is always a possibility. Plus, it will be on Facebook. Sorry, on YouTube. So yeah. Okay. So I think the next logical step for us to take here is to add the way of to switch the steps between one another. And I think the way to do it is to create some variable. Oh, we already have it. Player turn. So I think I would use this and plug in like 0 for white and 1 for black player to like switch between them. We can do true false. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, I think we're gonna go with the 0 and 1 way, but the system for this is same whether you like wanna switch between like potato and carrots and whatnot. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I think we should start by disabling the custom interactions that we have right now on the chess pieces, because all of the pieces right now have the custom interaction, right? And we don't want that. Oh, I broke something, great. So I will have to go to all of these and disable them. I don't like it. Okay, I'm gonna cheat here a little bit and then do it off screen. And that is gonna be, because it would be very boring to watch me delete all those tiles. So I'm just gonna say that for each, in a custom lever that we have there, for each item in entities, okay, so we will use this this label that we have here, the pieces on board, and we will tell it disable interactions, right? So we will just disable the interactions that I created, and right here we're gonna be starting our game for now. So until you switch this later on, the pieces will just be created, but you won't be able to interact with them. Okay. So right here in the trigger zone, we are setting the player 1 and player 2. So the game already knows that player 1 should be only there is some player 1 and some player 2. It doesn't know that player 1 should be able to interact with the white pieces and player 2 should be able to interact with the black pieces. And we have to tell it that. And I have no idea how we're gonna do it. So this is gonna be fun. My throat is killing me. We are definitely gonna need some method. And I would call this method enable interactions for player, okay? And right here we can plug in the player's turn, let's say. We can just use the player's turn that we have the variable here, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a simple if statement, and we're gonna be asking if this is 0 or 1. As you know, 0 is gonna be considered as false, and 1 is gonna be considered as true. So these values are irreplaceable. Well, replaceable by themselves. Sorry, I'm confused today. So if I just leave it like that, it's the same thing as as if I wrote if player turn equals 1, else this is gonna be 0, right? So I'm gonna go and say for each. And if this is equal to 1, we said that 1 is gonna be for black pieces, right? So for player 2. Oh, this is way too confusing. Let's just say that this is gonna be the player turn is gonna be switching between black and white. Just the strings. Just so we don't get lost if we get back to this like, a month later. I think this will be actually better. So I tend to create this like logically at the time, but when I come back to it, it makes no sense to me. So this is gonna be simple strings. And I'm gonna say else if just to be sure that there is a value of black. I wouldn't have to because this is gonna switch just between the two values, but it's just to check that everything is set up correctly and we don't encounter any issues later. So if this is a white player's turn, there is gonna be for each item in entities again, and this time we will select only the white tile, right? Sorry, white's label for each, and now we're gonna say custom interaction for this item, that is the chess piece. I'm gonna rename it. Hint is gonna be select. I have no idea how we named it before, but I think it was select. And we are not gonna be changing the player's turn here. We're gonna be turning it in the event listeners. So if it's black, we just switch this for a black one. And also we should make sure just to disable all the other interactions in the game. On the pieces, sorry. So at the start, we're just gonna say disable interactions for all the chess pieces, just like even things out to make sure that everything is restarted. If there were some pieces selected that have the interaction, this is how we get rid of it, right? Oh, this is player. Yeah. Get this pawn. Will they get out of the array? That is a good question, Yortex. I don't think we already finished I'm not sure I finished the despawning function, and I can't zoom out again. This is great. So we haven't plugged in this function yet, but we will definitely make sure that this, once we despawn the pieces, they will get removed from the array, and we will actually set the this none value into the array instead of the piece. But yeah, this is still TBD. We'll first sort out these things, and once we can switch between players and know whose turn it is, then we will go and try to capture the enemy pieces. Okay, so we have this. This seems like a good way to start. And right here at the start of our game, this is going to be a temporary one. We can set the variable of this player turn to white, right? Because in chess, white pieces are starting, right? So this is going to be white. And afterwards, we just call this instruction that we already prepared. This, where are you? Enable interactions. Okay, so this should start our game. Okay, so right now there is going to be a player 1 who will be able to interact with these pieces. We can also, we also have to make sure that only the white player is going to be able to interact with them, because as you know, there is no way to like show these interactions only for one player, sadly. So the way we are going to do this is in the listen for piece interaction, we can actually add additional if statement. And this is going to be if. Wait, why aren't we switching between player 1 and player 2? Am I? Nah, this is going to be better. Yeah, because if you're playing by yourself, yes, I think this will be better. Okay, so this will be only if, and this is going to be a composite with this or. Yeah, I'm gonna need this. The way I wanna do it is add that if the player is if there is a the trigger entity is player 1 and the turn equals white, then he can interact with it. Or if the player is player 2 and there is a black value in the variable. So these are the only ways we want them to make them able to interact with it, right? So I'm gonna take this if this trigger entity equals, and we have here a player 1, I'm gonna plug in and if in this player turn, if this player turn is equal string of white, then we know that he can interact with it. And then we use or, and as you can see, or will get called if at least one of these is true, and in this case, only one of these can be true, right? So if trigger entity equals player 2 and player turn equals black. Wait, there is something wrong with it, right? And or, why is there the extra or here? Oh no. Oh right. Okay, this should be okay. I don't know where the other or came from. I might have copied it by accident. My bad. So these are the two possible ways, and the bad thing is that I can't really test this by myself because I'm gonna be equal player 1 and player 2. So we will know if this works as soon as I test it with someone. But for now, let's just trust in my ability to not screw things up, which does not work out every time, but hey, let's hope for the best. Okay, I will try after this stream with someone just to make sure. But yeah, this should logically work. So so far you are only interacting with pieces, so you don't have to change the turn because the turns are gonna be changed at the point when you interact with the board. We can definitely debug at least some of these so we know what is happening. But on custom interaction with the board piece, and this is the same thing, so we are gonna actually need to copy this because as it was before, you only want to allow players the player that is on turn to interact with it. You don't want other players just running in and telling you this is how we're gonna move. I really appreciate that Mello is willing to play with me. He sees the chance to destroy me at something, he just jumps for it. I appreciate that. So again, if trigger entity equals player 1, player 2, this is the same thing. Okay, sorry, I just was reading the chat. So yeah, if the player can interact with it, he will, and there's gonna be this done, and they're gonna move to the new position, and then we wanna switch this player turn, right? We have to switch from white to black to white to black. So the way we're gonna do this, I think the best way is to create an instruction for it. As with everything, it makes things much easier, so you don't have to repeat some if statements over and over again. And I can zoom out again. I'm so confused by this. So this is just gonna be simple switch turns. And everything it's gonna do is if else, and we're gonna say that if the player turn equals white, sorry, we're gonna set the player turn to black, and in else there's just gonna be back to white, right? So this is gonna be back to white, and in this case, if it's equal white, we're gonna say black. Yeah. Yeah, I hate to let you down, Spirit, but I already know that anyone who's gonna play with me is gonna beat me. I already know that I'm terrible at chess. I'm terrible at any game I play, to be honest. And chess might be one of the worst games for me because I've never actually played it correctly. But you have no idea that I'm gonna cheat, so you have something to look forward to. It is gonna be a challenge once I can destroy your pieces with push of a button. And my king is gonna be able to move outside the confines of this board. She's just gonna run away, get on a boat, and sail away. Good luck catching him then. Okay, switch turn. So I need to place it into the board interactions. So this is where we want to switch the turn, right? Okay. So we switch the turn, and then we also enable interactions for player. Okay. What this does is it is checking the value of the player turn and sets up the interactions for the player. So at this point, once I interact with white pieces and move the piece, it should switch to the black player. All the white pieces should be uninteractable, like non-interactable, and the black pieces should be interactable, right? So we can test this out if it's working or if I messed something up. Uh, yeah, it is possible, your text, that I finished the chess movements because all of them can now move. All of them have their possible moves, but it was just the same thing all over again, just with the additional options, right? So I'm gonna start the game. Like, if you're interested, I can definitely show you the movements, but really everything it does is just defining that bishops can move diagonally, the queen can do whatever she wants, and the king can just go around himself. So as you can see, I can't interact with the black pieces. I can interact with white pieces. So if I make a move, I can't interact with the white pieces anymore. And I should hopefully, yes, I am able to interact with the black pieces. So at least this is working. This is very positive. Okay, if I select the piece and then change my mind, it should still, yeah, it still work. What do you mean the position on the board, your checks? You mean the actual placement of the, like the physical position, you mean? Or like just the coordinates like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3? There is a difference. We're separating these. Oh right. So look, your text. If you still have problems with these, we can definitely have a chat later, and I can explain it to you with your stream turned on, and we can just make some simplified tests without all of this. So who would be if you're guys confused after this and you would like to know how it works, you can definitely stop by Discord and you can ask questions more easily then. So oh, I like it with the TARDIS there. This is great. With the kindergarten words, yeah, I like it. Okay, so we already know how to switch turns. It works. And one thing to solve now is to uh, when you like select a piece and you can actually capture the enemy piece, it should get an extra interaction, right? So we definitely need to do that. So right here, when we are determining whether the chess, I don't think by the way, I don't think I finished this. I think only my rooks can actually capture the enemies. Then I just felt bad that I went so far with it. Yeah, as you can see right here, there is still the old if check that does check in only for like true false, but the rook is the only one who is fixed. So you can see if spot check equals 0, 1, and else 2. This is just breaking out of loop. This is where the piece is actually friendly, and we can't move there, right? Okay, I don't think I need returned 1 here. I have no idea what this was about. It's just a debug text. But yeah, so right now I am showing a permanent text above the entity as possible target and setting the color, right? Okay, so we need to add a custom interaction for these this highlighted piece. And I have no idea whether we should let it be the place on the board. I think it can remain the place on the board. So if I set interaction right here, and we have two choices here. They are both done the same way. Only one time I'm looking to interactable board, which are the board squares themselves, and board, which represents the pieces, right? So let's go with the possible target, okay? So we're just gonna create the interaction on the target itself. So set custom interaction possible target, and ID is gonna be, hint is gonna be destroy. We can definitely change these later, but yeah. Okay, and since we are listening in a event listener, we can differentiate between different ID types, right? So I can say that if this ID of for an attack is gonna be equals to something like, well, attack. So this will make it super easy for us to differentiate between the two different kinds of movements in custom interaction without the need for additional event listener. So I can say here, because this piece interaction is listening to all the pieces on the board, and oh, that sounds very hard, Spirit, and I have no idea how to like imagine it, but nice. Like we can definitely add some extra functionality later if we ever manage to complete this. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna add another if statement here, and this is gonna be if and else, because we didn't specify ID for these interactions. So I'm just gonna plug it in else, And this is going to be a special case. And in this case will be, as you remember, I set up the ID to be equal to a string of attack, right? So this segment here is going to be called only when there is an enemy piece that I can capture. And there will be a, possibility for to move it. So yeah, what's gonna happen here is that we want to destroy the piece, and again, for now, we're not gonna be bothered about removing them. Although I think they should be rewritten by the new piece, so it should be okay. Because there's gonna be new piece standing there once you destroy it, right? So we don't need to clear the array for this piece because there's already gonna be the new one. So what I want to do is destroy the chess piece, and this is going to be the target entity. And then I want to move this, move the piece to the position. And I have to check how I'm doing it here, just so we have the same system for it. So we basically need to copy all of these because this is exactly what is going to be called there. We're only going to place in some delay, right? I'm just going to take all of these, and this is going to be called in the special case as well. Because we want to move the piece, and okay, this is unnecessary because we already know that we want to do it. Oh, right, and I still messed up because as you can see, right now this could be clicked by the enemy player. So I have to reconnect it because this if statement should be on the outside, covering everything, even with this else, and then inside there should be this ID check. So I'm just gonna unplug everything from this main if statement. I'm just gonna switch these two, and this will go back into else. So hopefully it makes sense. Like first we check if the player can actually interact with it. So get selected piece and player. This is the trigger entity, right? This is the player that it's that's actually moving. And get the position board spot. Right. I think right here we need to plug in a different get position. And that is gonna be oh no. We do have get position methods, but we have it for each each of these separate. Oh, this is gonna be unpleasant, isn't it? So I'm gonna return it here just for now. And what we need to do, because we need to list through all of these to get the right instruction to get the position, right? So the easiest way will be to go to the global storage and create a new instruction that basically works like this. We check if it has a storage of the rook or knight or whatever, and then we call its position right here, because you can see that this knight has the position, and we will return this. Okay, Bioknog, good luck with the shot. Okay, so we are gonna create this new instruction with a return value, so we can easily return it into and plug it in, and this will be get the piece position. Okay. Get the piece position. We're gonna plug in the piece itself, and now we can save some time, of course, as always, and we can reuse this code. I'm gonna delete everything that's inside, but I like that the if statement is already nearly finished. Although we will get all of these errors, but this is easy to fix since we can delete everything. Okay, and now just delete the piece. I like when I can delete everything. Thanks, Spirit. Much appreciated. Okay, so now we have all these different else ifs, right? And now we just need to go through all of these. So first is pawn. Oh, sorry, in variables. Pawn, and you can see that we have this get position 1. I think the 1 is there by accident, but that's okay. So we're gonna create a new variable, okay? And this is the variable. This is gonna be the return position, okay? This is the one that we're gonna plug in here. And if in this if statement, we're gonna decide what should be in this returned variable. So I'm just gonna copy it, and then inside all of these, I'm gonna plug in these methods. For rook, it is the same thing. I'm gonna go to rook, get position, piece. There's a knight, get position. What is there? Bishop, queen, and king. Bishop, get position. Queen. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so hopefully it makes sense so far. And there's a king. Okay. So this should return the position quite easily. And right here. And now we can replace this get position by the new instruction that we have created. Get the piece position right here. And the only thing we're going to plug in is this target entity. I really hope this works. Okay, and update position. And this... Oh, I really have to start remembering these better. Oh right, sorry. Okay, so this is gonna be still get selected piece, because this is the piece that we want to update it for. But in this position, we are gonna plug in this as well, the newly created function. And then we simply switch turns, enable interactions, and yeah. So the only thing I want to add here is gonna be a delay. After we destroy the piece, we should wait for a bit, for like, let's say 3 seconds. There's still gonna be an like a little bit overlay where we step on the sword itself, but this is a very tiny detail that we can always fix once we finish everything else. So this is just to test out it's actually working. I hope it's working. Okay, so I'm gonna try and spawn the pieces. Start the game. Okay, so only rooks can do this. So I have to free up one of the rooks. Alright. This is so much harder when I actually have to move. Okay. One more. Oh my god. Okay. So once I select the rook, you can see that we can select this pawn and hopefully destroy it. Okay, they are white because oh no, unknown internal has storage. This is not good, is it? Oh, I think I know what's happening. That shouldn't be get piece target entity. What did I do wrong? Oh, right, because I'm destroying the piece here, and then I'm asking for its position right here. So that's not very helpful, is it? So this is what I talked about in the... Oh, is it? Oh, thanks. It really seems that it is zoomed in. Yeah. Oh, thank you guys. I was switching between the games, and it seems that there is some problem with it. I'm gonna quickly fix it, hopefully. I need to unlock this. So I changed the resolution of my game and it and forgot to change it here, the size of the window itself. I'm really sorry for that, guys. Oh my god, I wish I noticed earlier. Sorry, this is totally my fault. Hopefully this is okay now. Yes, which door is everything. Thank you, Ortax. Really. Okay, so you can see here, this is a problem that we've encountered before. I'm asking for a position of the piece that has already been destroyed. And if you remember, the way I told you that you can solve this is by creating a new variable, because this is going to be a vector, right? We only need the vector saved. We don't need actually the piece at this point. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a vector, this operation, because once you change it, once you plug the plug in the vector that you get here into this operation, even though you're just adding zeros, it will create a new vector, a new variable, and it does not refer to the original chess piece, like with anything. There are two separate things at this point. Okay, so this is the position, and we can use this at this point without any worries about it not being available at this point. So position, and there's gonna be one position here. And this should solve the issue. I'm gonna quickly test it again. Sorry. Okay, so white pieces. So far, black pieces. Good. Now I have to click. I can't select any pieces. Wait, I didn't start the game. This wasn't a smart move. Okay. So I'm just gonna quickly click through these. Okay. So I'm gonna move this one, and now if I select this attack, it will hopefully destroy it, and after 3 seconds it's gonna move it right there. Oh, this is great. And the game should still be able to continue, and I'm gonna try and free this free the enemy rook as well. Move it right here, and since there was a black piece before, we can check. Oh, as you can see, we still have to set this golden color to white. So we will solve that later, but this should be able to, yeah. So as you can see, the board actually got updated correctly, because the white piece overridden the former black piece in there. So now we can destroy this rook and just move it there. Great. So this is working. The only thing that's remaining is to restart this golden color. Now I'm happy that this is working. This is great. Okay, so what did I want? This is no magic. It's not true. Although it does sound nice. Okay, so what was I saying? Restart the golden, right? Where do I restart the original colors? Does anyone know? I think it is at this point with the board interaction. For each item, set color, yes. So when we highlight this, you can see that when we are restarting the colors, in this for each, there is a label, active available paths. So we can just add this piece into the active paths, and that is why, that is how it is gonna get restarted right there. Oh wait, I'm already doing that. Oh yeah, because there is a different interaction, right? Oh, this makes no sense. I have to recheck that. Well, how can you say it's boring when it works? I'm enjoying for the first time in history that something is working. Okay, so for each in get active available paths, this is the new one. Set color and remove label. This should work. This is very strange. I'm gonna check here, recheck this. Oh, this is no. It's a spot check is one. Oh right. If the spot check is one, this is. Oh, I sorry, I messed up. So if the spot check is one, there is an enemy. Set custom interaction, and you can see that we are adding the text and the color, but we are not adding this label that we add here. So I'm just gonna add this label and to a board spot. Okay, and at this point, the golden color has this active available paths as well. So when we make the move, this will disappear as well. Okay, so that is working. Now, I know that you guys said that I didn't solve the pawn issue because pawns are special that they can move only like straightforward, but they when they capture pieces, they can only capture them like one step diagonally, right? Yeah, that's true. Aleš is talking me through this. This is why today is such a good day. So we're gonna jump into the pawn storage, and I think the first thing we're gonna need to solve is to copy this extra check that we have created here and adjust it for the pawns as well. So I'm just gonna copy this if else. Oh, I should copy everything because there is a spot check. This copying stuff is very boring to watch, I'm sure. So I'm sorry about it, but it has to be done. Okay, so this if state, yeah, this is the same. So I'm just gonna unplug everything, and I am gonna delete. Position plus new path. This should be here, right? It's very confusing when I'm trying these things, but I hope so. So I'm just gonna delete this and just place it in. Oh yeah, I know he can't move backwards. Sorry if I said it wrong. I didn't mean backwards. I only meant the like this, like either front or like these two movements. Oh no, everything got disconnected. This is gonna be such a pain. I have no idea what this was. Was it everything with the position plus new path? I think so. Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, this is exactly why I have to finish these things off screen because this part is very boring. Like you only have to repeat what you've already done. Okay, so now it should hopefully work. I'm sure that there will be some issues with this, but yeah, theoretically this should work okay. So for the pawn, we're gonna have to create an additional thing, and that is that we're gonna add another moves. And I would personally create additional array as well, just to make things easier. So this is gonna be um, available. Why did I use W for this? Now I'm confused if there is a W in available. Great. I love when I confuse myself. Never mind. Available chess destroying path. This is a great name for a variable. Okay, so it was a super long day today. So I would, if possible, I would end the stream earlier today, to be honest. And wait, no. See, it's gonna move always by 1 on Z, but it is gonna move either 1 or -1 on the X to make it diagonal, right? Yes. So, um, this is everything that we do here is for each with this available path, right? So, this is only for the pieces that this is only for this movement, and we can't actually capture the pieces. So the only ones that we need here, I'm gonna unplug this. This is for the enemy pieces. I'm gonna delete this check actually, and we only have two cases. Either there is a friendly piece, or there is friendly piece, or there is a free spot, right? And then we're gonna need another loop. It all makes sense. Like the more I talk, the more I realize that it's actually possible. So available just the string path, and now we can check that we're gonna. Oh right, we need this new local path, of course, because this is checking the movement. This is reverting the available steps by 180 degrees for the black pieces. So wait, why isn't? Oh right, because I need to use this new variable, new path. Right. So this is like this. I'm gonna rotate it, and afterwards I need this if statement as well, of course, because the system still remains the same. So I'm checking if it's not getting outside of the borders of the board. Borders of the board. That sounds funny. But the only spot check I'm gonna need is if it's equal to 1, right? This is the only possible thing that could happen here. So if the spot check is 1, we're gonna load these. This is to show us that there is an enemy and we can actually capture it. And now I need to destroy this new path that is not... Oh no, so many of them. Good. New path. I hope I'm not copying this from the wrong spot. Because if I have to redo these, I'm gonna lose my mind. I hate this copying of stuff. Okay. So if I didn't make any mistakes, which, well, I don't really believe I didn't, but yes, this should work. Also, one more thing. I know that I have an issue here with the rotation. So as you can see, when I'm displaying the moves here... Wait, where do I display? Oh, I'm so confused. Wait, did I delete the rotation of it right here? I have no idea what's happening now. Okay, am I going crazy, or is there missing something in all of these? Okay, my head is starting to hurt a little bit because I am definitely sure I was turning the rotation, like checking the rotations, but they are gone. Like this check if has label storage owner blacks. This should be in all of them. But for some reason it's not. I'm gonna try this out. Because if it stops working now, at some point my script for some reason deleted some part of the script. Or I'm just mistaken. Okay, so white should work. Oh, well, nearly normally. It's working. Did I miss it? Okay, I'm getting undefined variable there, but that shouldn't be a problem. This is very weird. All right, I know because all of them can move in both directions. That is why I didn't need it. So the only ones that needed this check were the. I'm very sleepy. I'm sorry. Undefined variable item. So we have to check this. The reason why they are not there is because all of the remaining pieces can move forward and backwards in the same manner. The only the rooks, only the pawns can move in one direction, right? Oh, welcome, Okinok. Yeah, this is the first like major fail that I've made today. Oh right, and this is why. So I was using a copied item from here, so it didn't see him in this loop. So I'm just gonna test it, and this is the only change that I made, and it should hopefully work. I was so stressed out about the missing. Yeah, hopefully they can. We will see in a moment. Oh, I have to. Haha! So I can choose whether I'm gonna destroy this boy or move here. Amazing. Okay, so now there should be a. Okay. Now this should be able to attack this pawn and move there. Great. This is how I play chess. As soon as I see something I can destroy, I just go for it. Okay, so it is working. I was stressing out for nothing. Clearly, I'm just in a desperate need of some good sleep. So what's next? We fix this. The pawns can actually capture the enemy pieces. Is that a wrong statement, Jacobs? I'm thinking what is next on the agenda. I think you guys told me that you can get back the pieces that were captured, right? Like if one of your pawns makes it to the other side, I think that you can switch it for some captured piece. I'm not sure if this is how it works, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna need some advice. Because if it is like this, we could definitely spawn some chess pieces on the sides of the board to represent like the pieces that the players already lost. I hope you know what I mean, guys. I think I'm gonna have to buff up it before another part of this. I'm gonna have to read up on the rules. It's like I keep saying that there isn't much work left to be done, but I think the only thing that should be remain. Oh right, we still have to check if there is a check or checkmate. Whoopsie daisy. That's gonna be a problem. Oh, except for the king or the queen. Okay. So JC is telling me that you can't retrieve them, but Mello is saying that this is possible. Is it possible that there are different rules for chess? I'm very much confused, guys. Like I'm confused by default, and you keep confusing me more. So the easier one, so no rules. So we will go with the ones where you're not even checking for a checkmate. Like as long as the king is standing on the board, it's all good, man. Okay, so I wouldn't worry about returning the pieces right now because I realize that there is much bigger problem. We have to check after each turn if the enemy player's king is in danger, right? And from what I understand, it is that the checkmate is in the case when the king has no available moves for him to escape to, right? Okay, thanks guys. I'm gonna read this through later, your text. And yeah, for now, there is a rule that they can't return, and we can add it later. But now we have to now we have to decide and, you know, actually come up with a way how to check these, because this is gonna be harder than I thought. So like what I think how this works is like when I'm checking if my piece can get to the king. This is like if my king is if my sorry if my rook is like pointing at the king. Like there are two options, right? The king has to move to the other place, or some other piece has to take like one of the spots between the king and the piece, right? So he becomes like an obstacle, and now and then the game can continue as long as there's the piece. Okay. Oh my god, this is gonna be terrible because we are gonna have to go through all those. Like we're gonna have to save all the spots between these two, between these two, between the target and the original chess piece. Then we're gonna have to go through all the functions for get available spots from the enemy like chess pieces, and check if there is some overlap. As long as there is overlap, as some of those pieces are the same as the like possible moves are the same as the ones that we've saved, then we're good, and you have you still have a way to save yourself. Okay. And then we also of course have to check whether the king himself can move. And once we do this, we only enable interactions for the pieces that actually can save the king and the king himself. Okay, it makes sense like this, but I have no idea how we're gonna create this. Yeah, I get this, Nolan. That's what I was talking about right now, actually. But thank you for the summarization, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this, but I'm definitely not gonna finish it today, guys. I'm really beat, and as you've seen before, I think my brain stops work. It starts to like shut down. So we're gonna need a instruction that is gonna go through all those you know, all those pieces, all those board spots between these two. Oh, you're right, Oknog. That sounds really good, actually. Checkboard would look nice as an encounter. We could definitely like leave the pieces leaving lying around with some destroyed parts. That sounds great. Okay, so once you finish the turn, that is. Uh, 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 mm, mm, mm. Oh, right, here. So in the switch turns, this is where the magic has to happen, right? I like this idea, Oknog. I'll definitely create some encounter with this. I'm gonna steal your idea once again. All right, I have to. Oh, you haven't seen, guys. So, for those of you who aren't on my Discord, I actually got my one of my birthday presents today, and look at it. Because there was so much talk about the pink pig. I actually got this cute little pink pig from Minecraft. So this is my mascot now. It is super cute. So he's gonna be here with me on every stream. So I have to figure out a place for him. Okay, so in the switch turns, I think, should be what we're doing. So I'm gonna create a new variable. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tape it to my shoulder. I'll need something to hold it there though. I move a lot. Like this. Oh wait. Oh, it's you, Katie. I had no idea that this is your account. Oh, this is great. It's working perfectly. I should really take down the. Give me a second. I have to take down the note. I'm gonna cut off my hand now. Accidentally. Ouch! Nah, just kidding. Oh, I was worried that no one's gonna spam these. Okay, ban this guy. Good. So, right, we need a new variable, and this is gonna be a check. Now to check is when he's in danger, right? So yeah. This says nothing. I have way too many instructions that are checking something. So is the king in danger? Is this gonna tell me everything I need? And this is where we're gonna write in if we find out that some piece can endanger our king. Trigger a custom interactions. I don't think so actually, because the custom interactions are reacting to the player. I don't know what exactly you mean by that, to be honest. Like if you mean custom interactions that are on different blocks, then no. If you mean like interactions from custom controls, then of course. Okay, so new instruction. And this is gonna be check if the king is in danger. And here we can pass in, what can we pass? Player turn, right? Oh, we don't have to pass it in. We're just gonna be calling in. I'm gonna pass it in just to make sure I know what I'm doing when I'm calling in. It is the same thing. I'm just gonna plug it in. Okay, so right here, I'm gonna have to cycle through all of those. And I think we have them here. No, this is set position. Set return position. Where am I calling the different pieces? Does anyone know? Oh, right, it is in the event listener. Listen for the piece interactions. And yes, this if and display available moves. So we don't want to display them actually. We just want to evaluate if they are uh like if they are endangering anyone. Oh, this is gonna take way too long, guys. I'm gonna cut it today. I'm sorry, it's gonna be no like an hour. But yeah, once I start this, the I don't want to have like a week of a pause between like starting and finishing this because there's gonna be a lot of calculations between the arrays, and I would definitely forget where I ended this. So yeah, I'm gonna end this stream here. I'm super sorry that it was like this short, but we had Aleš here, so hopefully it balances things out. And oh yeah, uh, I might try with the. I'm glad you're okay with the daily streams. Yeah, tomorrow is stream in Czech, right? So make sure to stop by the Czech stream. Hopefully it will be fun again. We're gonna be playing with Mello, so you know we all know that Mello is gonna come up with some crazy ideas. So this is exactly what you need to see. This is the